Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the people out there on Facebook or YouTube. And today is past halfway through March, and the weather seems to be turning a bit. It's a little bit of snow on top of the hills in the Nelson area yet, but there's today we had a bit of a rainstorm in the mountains there, and wind blowing down, so the temperature dropped a bit, and still cool for walking. I still have to have a warm jacket on. Today turned out to be an exceptional day. I started my walk at about 9 o'clock and walked down to the local coffee shop and had coffee. And then when I came back and I took the car downtown, I did some banking and some checking in stores and stuff. And then I finally realized that the half of the day was almost gone. And so we stopped and had a cup of coffee downtown and at a co-op and then drove back home and parked the car. And then from there on, walked down to Safeway and down along the park, and then wound up at the Chalcomika Mall. The Chalcomika Mall is kind of a nice place. A lot of people come out there. A lot of people, even midweek, are out there shopping. And people are shopping and buying all kinds of things, buns, wieners, and stuff for camping out and having a backyard barbecue. And met some really nice people there. So met some friends today that I'd known for a number of years. One fellow from Meadow Creek, and also another guy that's a really good drummer, and he's from Spokane. So I had a tremendous time today, visiting with people and renewing some old friendships, and also met some nice young people, with some probably about 16, 18-year-old people, and mostly girls. And we stopped and talked to them and give them a handout of the history card of the Kootenays, and talked to them about reminding them if their mom and dad are still alive. In some cases, the young people here, their parents are living in Toronto or maybe overseas, and so I'm trying to remind young people, for gosh sakes, while their folks are alive, take their cell phone and sit down and talk to them and sit their mom and dad in a nice area where it's well lit, and ask them questions like, put the video camera up fairly close within about 3 feet, and ask them the questions like, Mom, where were you born? Where'd you go to school? And same thing of the dad. Dad, where were you born? Where'd you go to school? Where'd you meet Mom? And talk about all of the things that they'd done when they were young. And the idea behind that is we pick their brain a little bit before they leave the earth. Well, even better than that, because some cases now we're having people in their 60s or getting Alzheimer's so bad that the brain no longer holds a lot of valuable information. So I'm trying to remind young people that if we don't collect that information from their folks while their brains are sharp, we lose the opportunity to have a decent reminder of their life. And with the technology we have today, we've got cell phones, and we got CD and DVD recorders and all kinds of things. And the cell phones right now, you can take a video from these ones, like the one I'm doing now, and it'll wind up in the image file. And you can upload that directly on YouTube or on Facebook or both and share it around the world. So it's really important for young people to understand that even though they're living, even though they're living at home and they're probably still eating at mom and dad's table and sleeping there and going to school. But the time will come when they graduate from school, like in Nelson, BC, there's not a lot of jobs around here, mostly low-paying jobs. So a lot of those people, when they're going to get into college level of education, they're probably going to go to Vancouver or Edmonton or someplace else, maybe overseas, and they will move away from their parents, and the opportunity to capture the family history will be lost. So what happens is they separate and they don't see each other for a long, long time, and pretty soon inevitable will happen. Sometimes there's an accident or one of them is injured or killed, and then as they age, the mind fades a bit, and we lose our ability to capitalize on the history of the family. So I spend quite a bit of time talking to young people about that, and I even talk to older folks. I talked to a lady today that lived down by the park in one of the places there, and I didn't know her, so she was outside having a smoke, so I walked up and introduced myself, and we talked a little bit, and she has a computer and she has a cell phone, but the indication I got was that she has not captured any history. And what happens with the older folks, we get people that are, in their 50s and 60s, and sometimes it's too late, the parents have died. But they do have these pictures, excuse me, they have picture albums. The old albums sitting on the shelf in the front room or in the bedrooms or in the kitchen area. All the old thick folders we have with all the pictures in them. And now the opportunity is still there. If you can do the recording on a video recorder, like on your cell phone, you capture the voice and the image of the person talking, and it's really better that way. But there's two free programs on the internet now. One is it's called Blurb. You go on the internet on Google and type in download Blurb, and it downloads a book writing program in your computer. That's the same thing as going down to the store and buying a blank book, no lines, just pages. So when you get it in the computer installed, you just click on the start button, and up comes this front page. Then you decide what's going to be the name of your book. It's a book writing program. So you put the name of the book on there, My Mom and Dad's Life Story, the Jones or the Smith Family Life Story. And then you turn it over, and you drag a picture off your telephone. And this program will take either black and white or color or video clips. Now, if you have the picture in your phone, you can simply drag it in from there. Now, if you're using a computer and you've got the pictures on a CD or a DVD, you can simply drag the files off the computer disk right onto the Blurb program. So let's say that you've got let's say you come up with 30 or 40 pictures. So you drag the picture on the second page and you expand it. You can just grab a hold of the picture with the mouse and make the picture big or small. And on the very bottom, you can change the printing to big or small. And you can put names on there and dates and little stories about what the pictures are. And then you can just keep going and fill up the book until you run out of pictures. So what you're doing, you're creating the book. You're assembling the book with some valuable information from your family or your work. And you're assembling the book. And then when you're finished with that, you got to send your creation off to Blurb. There's a little bit of a feature on there to submit quote. And you tell them whether you want a hardcover or a softcover book. And then they come back to you and they say, okay, the book that you submitted to us looks good. We can supply one copy to you, mail to you, and they'll give you a price, maybe $25, maybe $40. Depends on how thick, how many pages you got. A lot of pages, more money. So looking at the price, $40 will buy you a really nice book, and they send it to you all printed up. The pictures are nice, and if your pictures are clear, you'll have a beautiful job. So don't forget, download Blurb from Google. It's a book writing program. I would encourage you to download it and practice writing some books. And I bet you've got a half a dozen projects in the back of your mind right now, whether they're boat trips or holidays, family holidays, or families. Just a nice book about your family. And then it's a great gift item because you can actually, if you count count the members of your family, maybe you got 6 or 8 people, you buy 6 books and you give them to them for Christmas. What a beautiful gift. Now, the other program that I think I told you about before, but I'll tell you again, it's a really good program too. It's available on Google, and it's a free one. You type in download Windows Movie Maker. Download Windows Movie Maker. And it downloads a program into your computer that allows you to make moving pictures with sound from pictures. or slides or video clips. Now, on that particular one, when you click on the button, on the start button, you get a page up. It's much like the other one, and you have to put a title on. So let's say maybe you went to Alaska on a trip to Alaska or something like that. So the outside title is going to be My Trip to Alaska, 1975. That's going to be your title. Now, turn the page over. Now you start dragging pictures in. Now you can drag pictures in here from your cell phone. You can drag pictures in from albums you've got, but they have to be digitized. So you can digitize them by scanning them in your computer and then putting them on a CD and then burning them from the CD into Blurb. You can load that. Same as you done into Blurb, but you're going to be putting into Windows Movie Maker. So you're going to fill up a whole bunch of little holes all the way across the second page there, and you can put up to 250 pictures in there. And each time you put the picture in, you can play the file, and you'll watch the first picture will come and go by, and then second one and the third one, and you got yourself a little movie almost. So you're making a slideshow from still pictures and video clips. Now, if you put a video clip into one of those, it'll play as well. Now, after you've got that all together, you look at it, and it looks like it's pretty darn nice. So then you turn around and say, I'd like to talk. I'd like to have some verbal. I picture my mom and dad. I'd like to talk about that. So you put the arrow from the mouse right on the picture and click on it. And now you can operate the microphone directly onto the picture. So what's happening, you're going to talk for 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes over the picture. And then you stop it and you move to the next picture. You can talk on that one the same amount. And you can have your brother talk on one of the pictures, your sister, next door neighbor, anybody, and they can all talk on there and put the sound behind the pictures that you got in the program. Now you run it every time you get once you get all the pictures in place, and you can mix them and match them if you make an error, and then you take a look at it and say, geez, it would sure be nice if I had some music behind that. So maybe you're a piano player, maybe you're an accordion player or something like that, or a fiddle player, and you can put your own music in there. You can just click on the picture when it starts recording, put the music file on. And if you if you can't do the playing yourself, you can take a CD and drag the music file off the CD and put it on the back of the picture. And sometimes you have to have more than one music file because the same music file would maybe go for 3 or 4 pictures and then runs out. So you have to have another tune. And then when you're all finished with that, you listen to it, look at it, and everything's good. You adjust the volumes so your volumes are not too loud, so they're audible, just so you can turn the volume up and down and bring the volume forward. Now, when you're all finished with that one, then you have to name the file. You're gonna make a file. It winds up in your image file. You can type in whatever name you want for the file, and then save, and it winds up in your image file. Now, when you go back, some computers have a video file too. You'll find it in the video file. Now, when you want to do something with it, you put that video file up, look at it, make sure it's the right one, and then if you have a CD burner or DVD burner in your computer, you can burn them onto a CD or a DVD, or you can upload them directly off from your computer onto Facebook or YouTube. If you put them on YouTube, they automatically resizes them, and then you can put them on Facebook afterwards. So drag the file, just put up YouTube, and you're going to do upload an image, click on that, and then they ask you where to get it from. You go to the file and click on it, and it uploads right in your whatever program you're choosing, into Windows Movie Maker, or if you already done it with Windows Movie Maker, now you can drag it from there and put it on the YouTube file or on Facebook, whichever one you want. If you put it on YouTube first, it's easier to drag that one from Facebook over onto from YouTube over onto Facebook, or vice versa, whichever way you want to do it. So we hope Hope you had a good time there. We had a great time today, and we're looking forward to another day tomorrow. Lots of walking if the weather's good. I wore a warm jacket today because the wind off the lake was pretty cool. So we're wishing you have a good evening, and don't be afraid to experiment with your cell phone, and also try making up some of the movies or try making up a book on Blurb. I'm sure you're going to be happy with that one. And also, once you get the file made up, put it on YouTube and send it to your friends in Timbuktu or Mexico or France or wherever they are. And the book programs, once you have the books printed on Blurb, you can give those out to people or you can mail them to them for Christmas. So have yourself a great day and have a great evening sleep. See you later.